Hello, and welcome to another week of the Abusecartoons Livestream. I think I think everything's working. So I've got a little bit different setup with the microphone. I moved it on the other side of the desk so that it reached the yeah, so that it could be plugged in easily. And because I had a cord kind of running over my lap previously, so we'll see if this works. You're going to see an arm, I think, much more than before. But I'll find an angle maybe to get a little bit more out of the picture. But here we are. At least it's kind of functioning. See if I can get the tablet at a good angle. So how is everyone? I hope you're doing well. We're in for it. It sounds like by the weekend there's 3 typhoons converging on us. I think it's I don't know how much it's going to hit, but it's on the way. But hey, dude, how's it going? Good to see you. And yeah, I'm not sure anybody's schedules today, so I may be suddenly called away. I don't know. It should be I should work out okay. I think our schedule is okay. But I'll keep you posted if I suddenly have to run off. But we'll try to get something done before then. Yeah, I think I'm running out of my main hard drive is getting full, so I'm a little laggy, but not too bad. All right. So yeah, hopefully the weather is not so insane where you are. There we go. So a morning of hot sun and university, but after that, things calm down. Yeah, I hope I hope September is a better month. It becomes really unpredictable because it's usually the full typhoon season. So tickets, if you want to visit Japan and you really feel like gambling, tickets are very cheap. But your flight could be canceled or you could be stranded, depending on how hard an airport gets hit during this time. Yeah, there's a family that lives nearby that the tickets to Okinawa, kind of the Hawaii-like area of Japan, those tickets are very cheap at this time, so they always take or try to take a family vacation in September and get very cheap tickets, but often it is canceled because of the weather, because they get hit really hard. Okinawa is just a small island, so the storms go straight over it. So if you've seen any pictures of the buildings and things there, they're very tiny. They don't build very tall, and they're very squat, and a lot of poured concrete, reinforced structures to handle really brutal winds. But it's a game you can play if you want to have a cheap vacation. All right. But yeah, that makes it unpredictable. I don't know how much money you actually save, if it's that big of a savings that it's worth all of the unknown, all of the disruption of maybe not. And waiting out something like if you're already there when a storm hits. I don't know how well the hotels are built to handle that stuff. Hotels are never known to care that much about being safe. They just need maximum occupancy. All right. So the big news here is the release of the water, the Fukushima wastewater, keeping the world from for keeping the core of that reactor from sinking into the center of the Earth, and that was a thing for a while. Like right after that happened, I remember, kind of the internet conspiracy people or whatever were talking about how the Japanese government was hiding the fact that the core for the melting down reactor was sinking deeper and deeper into the Earth, and once it reached the center of the Earth, the planet would explode. I literally had people asking me about that online. And yeah, because it was, and I think the thing that creates that kind of paranoia is the government, took over control of that company, the company that owned the power plants. Once they came up with a plan to deal with it. So, and the biggest, of course, the biggest group most upset about this is China, and they've banned all Japanese seafood. But if we could actually see, if they were open and honest and we could see what they were putting into the ocean, I don't think we would eat the seafood anywhere near China either, because they don't care about any sort of regulation or so Japan at least is cleaning the water as best they can and releasing things that are within certain limits. And it is the ocean. So if you're talking about things that, particles per millionth or whatever, it's going to be very diluted. So we'll see. But it's not bad. It's going to hurt, immediately it's going to hurt a lot of the greedy seafood companies that were selling to China and got used to that easy market of low quality product. But so the government sounds like they're going to bail them out here, and at least we'll have access to more seafood in Japan with this ban. It reminds me a little bit of the the mad cow. Japan did that to the U.S. During the mad cow problem in the was that early 2000s, 90s, late 90s, and they had to do that. There was something, maybe I forget what it was, but American chicken was banned for a while in Japan. So it just goes around a little political theater, pretending they are protecting you or caring about your safety, when actually, yeah. So that's very, very funny. But any opportunity, both China and North Korea, or I guess North Korea, but yeah, they don't really. That's not the same. South Korea and China take every opportunity to swing on Japan. All right. A giant spoon. All right. Oh, nice, dude. Having some insomnia. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're with me. That's good. But yeah, hopefully get some regular sleep. That can cause all kinds of fun stuff. As far as yeah, just not feeling normal, just getting all out of balance. But yeah, I know what that's like. I've had some recent days of not very. Now I gotta stop drawing these weird bowls. Yeah, not very much sleep. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, the Netflix shutting down their mail service. So, if you didn't know, originally Netflix was a physical disc through the mail service. So it was a rental service that you use the website to rent discs, and depending on how much you paid per month, that was how many discs you could keep. At one time, and then you went onto the website. So the only function of the website originally was to make a queue, what they call the queue of your movies you wanted to see, and as soon as you finish one and sent it back in a prepaid envelope, another one would be sent to you. So it was just this constant, let's see if I can get this to make more sense. Just this constant shipment of prepaid envelopes of DVDs, and then I think eventually Blu-rays. I wasn't, I didn't subscribe. By the time Blu-rays happened, I was already not a customer. But you saw in the mail, everybody's mail had those red envelopes, those very identifiable red envelopes sticking out. So people used it a lot, and I think it was mostly because the catalog was so good. I mean, these were the kind of the end of the days of the waning the waning hours of Blockbuster, and people being tired of having to get in their car just to literally drive videos to a Dropbox. And this way, and that was their big, I think, advertising when they first came out. No late fees. You just keep one disc as long as you want. So as long as you pay every month, you can keep one movie forever. And then you could even say something was lost and then have to just pay a replacement fee, which was much more reasonable than Blockbuster's fees. And I think I'm getting confused because there was also a game service like this too for the maybe PS2, PS3 days called GameFly. And they would let you, if you liked the game, they would let you keep the game. And then they would just send you the case and the booklet in the next shipment. But it was the same sort of thing. And maybe with games it works a little bit better because it takes you longer to finish a game than it does a movie. So, but then the per unit is a little more expensive too. The per disc. So who knows what the better model was. But I wonder how much damage, like how much stuff they actually lost from people just damaging things. Because when it's a rental, people don't treat things, so well. Hey, unknown girl, how's it going? Oh, wow. You still got the bird out. Wow. You got a cat. Nice. Ah, crazy. Whoops. Yeah, so so anyhow, so that the disc, because they're just the number of subscribers and stuff, it's been active for quite a while, simultaneous with the streaming service, and I think they shifted the name of it to DVD.com or something. They changed it so it's not so confused with actual Netflix, but they're ending the service next month, so September. They're ending the service, and they're just going to send people some movies out of their queue to keep because they've got this huge inventory, this huge catalog of movies. So I thought that was nice. It was sad that's the end of an era, but that's a nice kind of thank you to the customers and kind of tribute to the how influential that service was for so many years. Yeah, interesting business model, but that's the model that slowly convinced Netflix to do their own original thing, because they would license, they had to pay licensing fees or whatever the fee is for being able to rent a disc out. And then once streaming became possible, they started to have things you could, rent it and we'll send it to you, or stream it now on our website. And so they had started out very slowly with a selection of movies you could stream, but the licensing fees for those were crazy because the studios were so paranoid about once it's streaming, everyone's going to be able to steal it forever and we'll never have control of it, which, on disc, that was already the case with it being on disc or even on VHS. You just couldn't, you made, it wasn't lossless when you made copies of VHS, but you still could make copies of it. But so the fees were really, really high, and they stayed really high. So that's what pushed Netflix to think, or to towards, well, instead of paying these millions of dollars a month, why don't we just pay millions of dollars to make our own content, and then we get to keep it and make money on it forever. Unfortunately, they didn't keep the quality of that content very high, so the rewatchability of a lot of their stuff is just not. They seem to, be very opportunistic, and they have, they get these trending, like Squid Game and Tiger King and stuff. They get these like trending shows and things that are popular, but they're just popular for a month, and then they linger on that service and look weird. So it starts to have that strange, old video store that never buys new tapes kind of feeling, because their old titles are just, they're very, very trendy and of a certain era. Like, everybody in quarantine was watching the Tiger King documentary. So maybe Netflix is good at, generating buzz for things, but that does make things feel kind of dated quickly. But yeah, they're all about numbers too. From some of the people that have talked about like pitching to Netflix, they just look at numbers only, numbers that they don't share. That's the interesting thing, is if you're a producer that's made something for them before, and you pitch something again, you have a little bit of an advantage because they have numbers to look at and they make a decision based on that. Whereas somebody unproven, they just have to like the idea. But it seemed like for a while they were funding anything, anything and everything. Oh, wow. Oh, that sounds so tricky. Unknown girl trying to catch the bird. Wow. Crazy. Oh yeah, yeah, Unknown girl. Yeah, you're right. It's amazing, the resolution, and I think it's actors must hate that though, because their age is very apparent now. With all the 4K digital filming that's done, you see every line in everyone's face. It's very hard to hide it. Whereas if you watch the old like 60s television, like there'll be that Vaseline on the lens effect that they do. So sometimes they'll cut over to a single shot of the one of the actresses in the show, and to make her to kind of conceal anything that would be visible on camera. It's kind of soft focus and a little bit blurry. I saw that. That's a thing like Star Trek and a lot of those shows. You can see that quite often. They would to make people look younger, because even in their 20s, people looked a little old because of heavy makeup. In the 60s, the heavy makeup and stuff made people look a little rough, and their heavy suntans and things. But yeah, that is a huge difference. It's funny though to see now. I think they've they've like upscaled all of the old video, anything that had like maybe decent source, so you can see just the makeup just laying on everyone's face now when you see stuff in 4K. It's really amazing, because it's like really bright. The old television is like super bright lights and really heavy makeup, and now you can just see that very clearly on old 60s and even some 70s television, although 70s got a little bit more naturalistic, and they shot on film, so it concealed a little bit more. Yes, it's very funny, the differences. And now I think we're in such a weird time now, just like with the 60s makeup styles and stuff. We're going to look back on this time and just wonder what is going on, because so many they're making a lot of, there's a lot of actresses, a lot of female characters in shows that are very stoic and expressionless. And you're like, oh, is this a new style of character, or is this a? I think it's just, there's so much cosmetic surgery starting, in like late 20s, 30s, that women are getting just to stay competitive, and so much Botox, they have literally frozen all the muscles in their face to have that perfectly smooth forehead, or, perfectly smooth areas of their skin, but then they can't change the expression on their face. So it's not like an inability to act, it's that their face is literally frozen. So unless they can act just through their eyes, you can't quite tell. So, a lot of complaints, people complaining about a lot of recent actresses not being very expressive, but I would bet that it's because they can't be. I mean, you just look at like Nicole Kidman, her face isn't even. I think it's just a layer of some sort of tissue in front of her skull now. She can barely, change any sort of expression. So I wonder how much of that is, trying to make, you know, give women a different, female characters a different characteristic, or if it's just, oh yeah, no, they can't, they can't do that anymore. They have to look stoic and very frozen in their expressions because their faces literally are. So we'll look back at that, and that'll be a pretty funny thing, because that is such a, I guess it's effective, but it's such a primitive way to go about that. Literally just freezing the muscles in your face with botulism to get that, very smooth look. Depressing and horrifying. Yes, dude, that's very true. Yeah, it's amazing what people are willing to do. And the funny thing is, it's like they're doing it only for, still photos, or, maybe film, in some ways. But in the rest of their lives, they have these weird, affected faces, and probably a lot of pain too. Once you get too deep into the surgery, if anybody makes a wrong cut or anything goes wrong, you've got nerve pain constantly. So who knows? Because everybody heals differently. Everyone's stuff under their skin is in a little bit different places. So when they make cuts, sometimes it goes well, and sometimes it doesn't. And of course, the younger you are, the easier it is to recover from that stuff. So once you're addicted to it, you have these really long, painful healing processes. Yeah, I can't imagine. But, you have to. Once somebody does that, everybody has to do it to keep up. Or suddenly there'll be this miraculously beautiful actress that nobody else can compete with. Yeah, that's a really big problem in South Korea. Is its cosmetic surgery is so out in the open and so acceptable that if you don't have it by a certain age and have your face shaped into this, because Koreans have more like a wider, more square face, and the Asian beauty aesthetic right now is almost like an anime character design, like big eyes and a small chin, small mouth and small chin, and so that kind of alien look that you see sometimes. And so literally people have their jaw and the side of their face like shaved down to fit this like narrow face aesthetic. But you do that really young so that you can recover from it, and also so it, it can kind of be covered up. There's going to be photos of you before, but if they're young enough, maybe, oh, that your face shape just changed, right? When you were 18, your face suddenly took a totally different shape. But it's become the beauty standard. So to get a job, because in a lot of Asian countries, a resume has your photo on it. So they're judging your appearance, and they're allowed to hire you based on your appearance, as opposed to the U.S. and some other countries, that are not model. It's not for modeling or acting. It's just an office job. They judge you by your looks. So if you don't do that, then you're not competitive, and you look old-fashioned or country style or too plain or whatever your or actual face shape. So it becomes so competitive that there's just so much social pressure that you have to do it if you want, to have a nice job or have, get married and have a nice family. Like they see that as compulsory now in a lot of ways. So it's really crazy. And then also the guys wearing foundation thing. I can't get used to that when you see the Korean tourists here, the young guys, like they're dressed just like, like tourists, just kind of sportswear or whatever, but the guys have this flawless skin because they wear foundation. It's just so striking. It looks like they just got off stage, like they were just you know recording something at a television studio or something, and they didn't take the makeup off. But yeah, they walk around with very flawless skin, but creepily, like eerily flawless skin. Yes. Yeah, very Barbie doll like. Yes, yes. Uh oh yeah, the Twilight Zone, right, right. Yeah, who knows how far we're gonna go into that, where you're choosing things. Yeah, I like the Twilight Zone where they do the switcheroo where the woman's having the surgery, and it's revealed that like all the pig faced, like the nurses and doctors and everything have these horrible pig faces, and they were giving her the surgery to make her beautiful, meaning looking like them. Yeah, it's the old. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the drawings today. Didn't have anything in my head as far as topic. But yeah, it's a strange time, and all the filters on the photographs and stuff. I think people are really gonna be sad because they should be storing the digital photos. Probably have enough space to store the original image plus the filtered image in the same file. Just come up with a file format that can store multiple layers of a digital image, because I think a lot of people are going to be really sad that they don't have photos of what they looked like when they were like 16, 18, that aren't like heavily filtered, have so many like face smoothing, eye enlarging, whatever, strange filtering on it. So you don't have any accurate documentation of what you really looked like. I think people are going to regret that someday, because those filtered photos are so unpleasant looking. They're so kind of uncanny valley. You know that it's not real. It's just some kind of digital, painting of you. Uh, yeah, yeah, and that's a real aesthetic too. Like both for men and women in Korea, that flawless skin. They're kind of known, and now the cosmetic companies, Korean cosmetic companies, are internationally famous. But they're known for their flawless skin. But I think it is just because of the amount of money they spend. I don't know. It may have at some point been an actual thing, but now it's very manufactured. But and along the same lines as the photo filtering, you're trying to deceive nature and kind of fool the natural selection, by tricking some guy into thinking you look better or you're more his type than you actually are. And so there's been a lot of disturbing uh, the effect of marrying someone, for their physical appearance, and then you have kids together, and those kids have your original nose and your original face and everything, and aren't going to look like you until they have surgery. So that's just depressing. All right, let's see. I think there was a lawsuit in China, and who knows, how much it's just made ridiculous, um, as entertainment or whatever. But yeah, that a husband was suing his wife for all the surgery that tricked him into thinking she was attractive, and that her actual looks weren't her real looks. I don't know how you can prove damages though for something like that. It's all aesthetic. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I want to draw more bowls and spoons. Maybe a spoon will work for something odd. But yeah, it's really funny. And that's a big adjustment, and it's becoming more of a global aesthetic now. But in a lot of Asian countries, superficial beauty, the appearance of something, you look like a certain type means you are. So the superficial is very, is considered very valid and kind of worshipped here. So if you look wealthy, you are wealthy, and if you look intelligent, you are intelligent, regardless of the truth. So that's why Asia loves brand goods, because it's an easy signifier of wealth or taste. So if you look like you have good taste, then you do. And so the truth of things is very different. That was hard to accept at first, or get used to at first, is how superficial things were. But it's becoming I think America is starting to adopt that same sort of aesthetic as well. Just, it's all a surface thing, and if you can change it, if you can trick people and change how things look, then they are. Yeah. But it's not just an Asian thing anymore. I think the whole world is falling victim to that. What are we doing here? Oh, a stain. Yeah, a plastic bowl stain. That's interesting. Yeah, that's oh yeah, I've never done that before. That might be a yeah. That's an interesting idea. Let me try that. I don't think any of these bowls would work. Definitely not that one. Yeah, maybe. I like that idea though. Yeah, the stained plastic bowl, to try to convince someone that you didn't once hold tomato sauce. Let's see if we've got any other good bowl-like drawings. Yeah, this one's a little strange in its angle. Yeah, actually, if I'm going to draw something that's supposed to be plastic, it's going to have like the grooves and everything of, more like Tupperware style. Oh, but the spoon can be an innocent bystander. But yeah, let me try that. Yeah, I like that idea. That'll be fun. A fun, thing to try to color so that it looks convincing. And everybody knows what that's like. A bowl that just gets discolored. So like, do something like this. So it has the look of Tupperware. Something like that. Oh no, are these on the same layer? Of course they are. Of course they are. There we go. Yeah, so a little stained orange. Oh, and maybe he's confronting the can of tomato sauce. Let's do that. Or a jar. Or maybe a can is more fun. Ugh. Try something like this. There we go. All right, something like this. I don't know, maybe the can's a little too squat though, isn't it? Let's try a little bit. That. And maybe the lid doesn't have to be so crazy. Do people still, I guess the US still has a lot of canned foods, but it's becoming less and less common. I almost never open cans anymore. But maybe that's just it's just the shopping every day for groceries kind of aesthetic here that makes that a thing. You don't need cans as much. Maybe I'll take that away. Yeah, so a can of tomato sauce or tomato. Ooh, let's fix that a little bit though. Left a stain. Yeah, there we go. It's a little cuter of a pose as well. Yeah, thanks, dude. That's a good recommendation. The little innocent spoon bystander. Try not to get involved. So left a lasting impression. Yeah, others called it a stain. But he something. All right, yeah, it's going to be tricky. I hope I can get across the the plastic-looking discolored. That's going to be the hard part. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And then we still got one more here. So let me think. Oh, yeah, you're right, dude. Yeah, there was a big emphasis. I think that it's just like a social, but China, the Communist Party, I think, is very critical of that, K-pop, J-pop aesthetic of the very pretty boy look. So I don't think they want, they consider that like a foreign influence and a softening of men. And yeah, they want the image. Because if you've seen any of the, Chinese military promotions or whatever, yeah, their aesthetic of the strong, hard man is very, very different from any of those those pop star aesthetics. Yeah, you're right. I think there was some deliberate attempt to say that is a foreign influence, like male vanity and cosmetics and surgery is not manly in China. Yeah, and that's the funny thing is they have the ability to to enforce a ban. That's the crazy part. This, yeah, it should be. Oh, yeah, it is. Let's go in one more. All right. So what else would make an interesting? Yeah, what haven't I drawn? I haven't drawn laundry in a while, but there's not a lot of good laundry jokes. How many shrunken t-shirt jokes can you possibly make? All right. And socks. Those paired socks that are tucked inside each other. All right. Oh, that's nice. Unknown Girl. Yeah, yeah. One of my favorite old cartoons was the orientation joke, where it was a dozen roses in a vase, and like a glass vase so you could see through it, and the roses were put in upside down, so the flowers were underwater and just the stems and thorns were sticking out. And the joke was like romance depended heavily on proper orientation, being a sexual orientation joke, which I don't think is funny to anybody anymore, but it used to be in the crazy 90s, or I guess early 2000s. In those crazy early 2000s before we were hit with the appreciate everything stick. All right. What else? So what's a oh yeah, what's something that survived the dryer? I've had some funny things like if I pulled the those stickers, the tags off of luggage at the airport, it just kind of rolled them up, and maybe it was crowded, so I didn't get to a trash can, so I just stuck them in my pocket, and then I washed those jeans, and then I washed like a wad of stickers. And those are like heat. That's the funny thing, is anything like receipts or anything that's that heat printed, I forget what that's called, like thermal paper or thermal printing. That goes through the dryer and it just turns solid black because you're heating up something that it's printed on with heat. What else? I don't want to draw like a big laundry basket. The scale is too weird. Something that made it through the laundry. So I guess the dryer would be the worst part. Something made it through the dryer that let's see. That would be weird. Yeah. When I in a hurry and not checking my pockets, I've washed some funny things. Yeah, I screwed up like early days when we first had our like own washer and dryer. I think I had a penny or something in my pocket, and it got out, and this was the washing machine. So it got out and somehow got through a drain, but then got embedded in the bottom of the washing machine near the there's a lot of plastic, like plastic mechanism that we were used to spin the drum, and a penny got down there and it just shredded the. Maybe it's like nylon or whatever, but there was some way that the drum was supported and kind of balanced so that it could spin really hard on the motor, and a penny somehow got in there and just tore shit up. So I had to replace the whole bottom of that, but it was just from leaving a penny in a pocket, and but the bad luck of it like working its way down into the inside of the machine in the worst possible place. But I still remember that, finding that. It's like, wow, that's crazy damage, and maybe just over so many cycles of running the machine, and that thing just stuck there and just grinding away at the plastic. All right, so what is a recognizably... Oh, wow. Yeah, headphones. Crazy. Oh, yeah, white dyed pink. Yeah. I know I've done that before too. And the joke wasn't very good either. I don't think it stands up. It was something, the towels were concerned with the feminization of the laundry because everything came out pink. But that wasn't long. I think I wrote that not long after like that Simpsons joke, where Marge accidentally, or Bart washes his cap. He like stuck through his red cap in the laundry, and one of Homer's shirts got dyed pink, and he stands out, and like they're watching the video, surveillance of the nuclear power plant, and all the workers are walking by in their white shirts, and Homer's is pink, and he gets pulled aside for his like weird independent thinking. But so it was kind of inspired by that, and yeah, just everything in the laundry had turned the same color. All right. I guess I can do a. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What would be a good. Okay, so what could have made it through the laundry that would be kind of like strange and damaged? Hmm. Yeah, right. All for the price of a penny. I had my washing machine destroyed. All right. Let's see. Yeah, it is so funny how and it's usually like the simpler mechanisms and things do better. If something goes wrong, the more delicate and complex things are, the more easily they just go away. So just paper, just like a book or a hmm, like a paperback book. I don't think I'm gonna be able to draw that in a very funny way, but like a yeah, that's not gonna it's not gonna read as a book at all. Yeah, and I think they swell, yeah, kind of this way. I don't know. I haven't seen a totally waterlogged book in a long time. Thank God. Yeah, that's not gonna. That doesn't read like anything. Um, hmm. What's another thing that shouldn't go through the wash? Or you'd think would do better going through the wash. Yeah, yeah. I occasionally. I think The Simpsons are on. I forget. Yeah, the Japanese streaming is all screwed up. It's like totally different if somebody says online, oh, on Hulu or whatever they have The Simpsons. Oh no, Simpsons I guess are Disney now. So Disney Plus has The Simpsons. That's right, because they were doing all that weird editing. They did a lot of screw ups when they put them on there. They did some weird pan and scan stuff to make it. They forced them all widescreen and then did some strange pan and scan. So some of the jokes, visual jokes, were off screen. They did such a cheap and fast job, kind of fast and dirty job of just changing the uh, aspect ratio of the picture, that some of the scenes, the joke is off screen, the visual joke that they're referring to. So yeah, and then I think they did some censorship for stuff they thought was too risque, because it is Disney now, so they love to censor. Okay. What else? A soda can. That would be completely undamaged. Or it could just be something as simple as like some coins. Yeah, just like a couple of different coins, and they made the laundry so much noisier. Yeah, because they wouldn't be altered in any way by going through the laundry, but they would make a lot of noise. Yeah, let's go with something like that. It's closer to what I was thinking. I don't think I'm going to convincingly draw anything mangled by a cycle in the laundry, and maybe put the coins in the middle. Oops. There we go. I'll draw tiny little eyes. Or I actually no, that the other that's actually kind of better. I like this because they both can be kind of yeah, looking in different directions. Yeah, I like that composition a little bit better. All right. So coins in the laundry, a tribute to my destroyed my destroyed washing machine. Have you tried black ink? It's designed for artists like you. Oh, interesting. No. If that's software, no, I haven't. I've just been struggling with, yeah, just been using Photoshop and Photoshop brushes for a while. Hey, Derek, thanks for the advice. I'll check that out. Yeah, I'm kind of an old dog. Oh, it's an AI. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Got 5 free credits. Yeah, I'd really like to feed a bunch of my. Oh, it's a tattoo. Oh, I see. It's like a tattoo aesthetic design. Interesting. Um, I'd like to like with one of the art AIs, like feed my cartoons into it as the data set and see if I could get it to spit out something that looked even close to, my my style. That would be funny, because it's not particularly hard to recreate. I think it'd be very easy um, to do, but it'd be very funny. Suddenly, I wouldn't have to work so hard. I could just write, a thousand text prompts and just generate. That's the return of my cartoon as a daily cartoon is as AI generated. Yeah, let's do dingy socks, so kind of gray socks, and then a copper penny, and then a silver coin. Yeah, I'll play around with that. Thanks for the recommendation for the black ink. That's a cool. It's got to be, yeah. It's got to be so much that people are figuring out. Oh, let's do some stripes on the socks. Um, what was that? Wow, I made a new layer and it like jumped to the top of the file. Yeah, it's got to be a lot of interesting stuff, and as long as it's not stealing other people's art, I think there's a lot of useful things that AI can do, and already Adobe has said that they've got AI running a lot of their brushes and things. The what was I think Matt was saying that like the heel brush is an AI powered thing. Oh, let's write something on the T-shirt too, because it's sampling. There, and we'll fade this out a little bit. Yeah, but it's sampling the existing photo, so it's inescapable. Our AI future. Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's a quick tutorial. Software streamlines Photoshop with sketching. Oh, nice. Oh, not an AI. Oh, that's cool. Cool. Oh, wait. Maybe your message got blocked. Did it get through? Cool. Yeah, thanks. I'll take it. Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, because the aesthetically challenged and people, cheap and lazy companies, the first place they always think they can save costs is illustration and design, and that stuff should just be free. And with AI having scraped the internet, it is basically you can steal anybody's 10,000 hours of learning a particular rendering style. But yeah, I think it's going to be as a tool to kind of speed up certain processes. It might be useful, but at the same time, it's going to create its own like horrible aesthetic problems and laziness. Because there was a just recently a guy an artist that was caught using for one of the latest Dungeons and Dragons books. He was caught using it to like clean up some fur effects or something, and it was so obviously AI generated, and it looked bad. And this was contract work that they were expecting. Well, I mean, who knows? Who knows what Wizards of the Coast actually knew and didn't know? But they said they didn't know he was using those tools, and why would they be paying for an artist to just throw together some cheap illustration from AI. But yeah, there's that website now, Have I Been Scraped, where you can search the I think it's the data set that a couple of the big AI art programs use, or probably most of them now. But you can do a little search and find out if your stuff is there or not. Not much you can do about it, but you can you can find out if you've been compromised. And then you can say, yes, I have. Maybe that's you have to see it as a compliment, right? Yeah, I don't think I'll make anything too bright there. Oh, but maybe the coins came out a little shinier, right? Maybe I'll put a little on there. Yeah, I haven't ever messed much with brushes. But recently some of the illustration I've been doing for the RPG sessions, I've been playing around a little bit more with different Photoshop effects and stuff. And you can get some really nice, there's really cool stuff out there to get interesting effects, and especially like antique, or not antique, but just like older techniques, like quill pens and stuff that actually look convincing. They have enough of a shape to them that it really makes makes a big difference with the art. Yeah, I still remember the before like Wacom really had decent sensitivity. Kind of early days, people talking about digital art and digital drawing, and that's why I stayed away from it. I think because there was a lot of negative. I heard a lot of negative things from artists, and at school and things, people were being very critical about working so hard to train yourself to draw certain lines and have a certain technique, and then digital just being able to recreate that. And now we're to the point where it's even more of a recreation. It's a total simulation in a much more uncomfortable way. But I still remember that those early arguments about that how that's not it's kind of a weird. Oops. I just had the color that I wanted. Yeah, it's kind of a corruption. It's kind of a weird corruption of what the point of all the hard work is. Learning to draw. Come on, there we go. Yeah, something like a light blue might work well. And I'll do maybe like a darker green label on the can, and just a metal spoon. Yeah, but hopefully, like legally and everything, things are going to shake out okay with AI art, because I really think that aesthetic of if no human labor went into it, it can't have any value. So that's fine. Like, amateur people and companies can generate all the AI art they want, but you can never ask anyone to pay for it, and you can never own it. It's not ownable. I hope that becomes the aesthetic. Because otherwise it's going to be ugly. But yeah, it's just you can never underestimate how cheap and lazy companies are. Because I've had work that's gone really well, and then just suddenly, like, someone gets weird about their budgeting or whatever, and suddenly your work is not good enough, and they want to make changes, and they want to pay you less because they're unhappy now. It's very, very strange, and you never know where that stuff comes from. But it's usually a budgetary bean counting meeting that didn't go your way. All right, so I'm going to try to find like a layer style or something. Yeah, something like maybe just a really light multiply. Yeah, something like that. So it doesn't look like there's something inside, although that still kind of does. Oh, maybe I should just fade it. Like blur the So what do we got here? I haven't used, there's so many tools I haven't used. Oh, there's a blur tool. Let's blur. Yeah, just so it looks more like a, oh wait, there. Is the blur tool not blurring? What am I missing here? Oh, maybe the resolution is, yeah, the resolution is just too high. Yeah, I've got to turn the blur way up. Let me see here. Do I have a, yeah, let's go all the way. Yeah, because I'm doing 600 DPI because these are essentially bitmaps. So I think blur cannot. That's probably why I haven't used it, especially on these cartoons, because they're too high res. Okay, well let's just go old school and just wait. Wait, what's going on? Why is everything? Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Yeah, okay. Not quite that insane. But yeah, you've got to get quite. Oh yeah, and that's nice too because it takes it away from the edge. I think that's the aesthetic that I want. So blur it enough so it pulls away from the edge. Yeah, like that. Not quite that, but wow, the update takes forever. So maybe just 20. Let's go 20. 30? Yeah, I guess 30 is good. Yeah, this is so high resolution it becomes difficult. I think that's the right aesthetic. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, yeah. I couldn't believe that was so disappointing when that Secret Invasion series came out on Disney Plus, and their opening was AI art, AI, yeah, obviously AI generated. Yeah, that was so depressing. Like a company as high profile as Disney is right away going to go jump into the, hey, look, we just generated this with an AI program. That was, yeah, super disappointing. Yeah, and just creating like this a weird artificial aesthetic, which I think maybe some artists will actually play with, because you do have those artists that love the, the kind of super real, where it's not, you're not even trying to imitate reality. You're trying to make some other kind of weird aesthetic. What am I doing here? Boom, boom. Trying to come up with this aesthetic that is like more real than real. So it like makes this like disturbing, disturbing level of, brightness or clearness that feels super unnatural, but it's just like an enhanced reality look. Yeah, there's a lot of like the photography. I'm trying to think like Jeff Koons does. I've seen some of his like 90s stuff that looks like that. Where the photos, like those pornographic photos he took with his Italian politician wife, they had like crazy heavy makeup on, and the photos themselves were like super. They were really high saturation and really blasted aesthetic. So kind of a wow, super reality. So I'm sure, yeah, AI was going to do something. I'm sure people have already been doing it because artists are always a little bit ahead of that. So that technology has probably been messed around with in art schools, and digital artists have already been messing around with it. Ah, come on. Where was that line? Okay, well, it's not there. There's levels of undo that just do strange things. And I'll always do that. Somehow I'll figure out how to sabotage the undo something and I'll accidentally make some kind of dot or something, and then it totally breaks your all your undo layers or levels. Okay, so that looks maybe a little bit of white. So it reads as plasticky enough. And everything can look a little more plasticky and shiny. There we go. Hopefully that works as let me play around with this a little bit more. Is there another layer effect that's... So I don't want it to look like it contains anything. I think that multiply is probably the best, unless... Yeah, no. I definitely want it to read as, like tomato sauce or something. So maybe a little bit darker. Let's see how the blur... no. That's probably the best. All right. We have our aesthetic. We'll see how it works. Oh, I haven't even checked. I got a check from last week. I did the Japanese condensed milk container. I got to see what kind of weird comments I got about that. Been here too long, so I forget what things even look like. And that condensed milk comes in cans. So he's got to be looking longingly. Here we go. The eye position is everything. He's looking longingly at the can of tomatoes. Oops. And then the innocent spoon bystander. He was somehow involved. Happy Italian memory. Nice. Yeah, I like the idea of like staining, and I think that works. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, trying to make the bowl look as shiny as possible while still being all stained. I think that blur helped a little bit. Okay, so we got these. So, speaking of, let's go take a look. So, laundry and Tupperware. Yikes. Let's go take a look at the comments from last time. Let's see how poorly that went. There we go. Yeah, so sorry, the arm now is much more intrusive. So maybe I'll shift around here for the other scenes and try to make it work. Okay. So here is here it is, the condensed milk cartoon. So 3 comments. Oh, 16 likes. Yeah, condensed milk in a tube. Yeah. People are what? What's going on? Japan. Yeah, there we go. Tato knows. Yes, I was trying to do condensed milk. And that's the cow. So yeah, that's so funny with all the import stuff. People know the Morinaga stuff. All right. I guess we've been here, so I'll mark it. The unopened bag. Swore it wasn't his chip. No, nothing. I think that went up late. Okay, so where are we? We're trying to do, I think, August of when? 2014. Wow. 2014, August 5th. Boom. All right. So let me make sure that's on there. There we go. So he could not get excited about a reproductive process that involved either wind or bees. All right. Oh, and what was the... we were just here. Okay, so August 7th. Oh, look at this. Cosmetics jokes. The most used color was a threat to the viability of the entire palette. All right. August 12th, 2014. He was enjoying his life as a far more dangerous beverage. I've done this before. Or I've done this more recently, haven't I? I put some like a broken glass like this with a little bit of blood on the. Yeah, this one must have gone up late. It was totally missed. Wow, repeating myself. August 14th, 2014. He was having another out of box experience. Nice. We've all had one of those. Yeah, is that still a yeah, it must be the plastic lining bag, because the it used to be like back in the day they would put like early days, I think, for a lot of like grains and cereals and stuff, they would just put them in cardboard boxes, not realizing that moisture and bugs and stuff have at it a little bit more. I think I've gotten like macaroni and cheese or something in a cardboard box that there's no liner. The dried pasta is just literally sitting in an empty box, like an unlined cardboard box. So they never learn. All right, August 19th. Something about him made her feel that there wouldn't be a second cup. He was all out of water. He's in the bag after all. Despite being drawn together. All right. August 21st. It was all one big sweet and sour home-delivered blur of regret. I should have put a sodium joke in there somewhere. A misfortune cookie. Oh, that's good. A misfortune cookie. The guy's mugu was resoundingly panned. Go for flavor, switch to Thai. Long believed that there is such a thing as comic cycles. During a spike, practically any comic on the page is fall down funny. During a trough, the mild snicker is about all you're going to get. Most days it's a little of both. Can you guess where we are in the cycle today? Is that an insult? If it is, it's a very backhanded insult. Or backhanded compliment? I don't know. That's a weird one. Can you guess where we are today? Was it a mild snicker? Comic cycles. Interesting. All right. August 26th. He feared their combined efforts would still be a long way from appetizing. What's who, what, where? Never use both ketchup and mustard on a hot dog. I love ketchup on everything, including hot dogs and brats. All the combined efforts need is some sauerkraut and onions. Yes. That's how you eat my hot dog. So sue me. All right. Oh, wow. I don't remember drawing this. August 28th. She envied his amazing realism. So dirty water, dirty half-filled snow globe looks the most like Los Angeles. Oh, yeah, that's right. So the joke, I think I was probably still back and forth. Or I don't know. I know I'd left Los Angeles by that time. But yeah, there's no snow in LA, so she makes it snow in LA, but he's just full of dirty brown water, which is amazingly realistic. All right. Oh, September 2nd. So we'll do August, September, November. Some mystery boxes were better left a mystery. Ew. And nobody wanted to know what was in it. Something. Yeah, I didn't, and I think this is pre like J.J. Abrams like co-opting that term with his lame narrative style, so I wasn't even thinking mystery boxes. September 4th to 2014, they were all both shocked and amazed by the effect they had on the evening. They had on the evening. One of those hads. Same time tomorrow. Shocked and amazed. September 9th. Words on paper never felt the hollow desperation of needing to be clicked, viewed, and shared. Yeah, this is me regretting having to draw digitally, I think, and shredded. September 11th, 2014, he was reassured that now everything was cheaply made, poor quality, and disposable. So fast food became the aesthetic. Yeah, I should have like put clothing and everything else in there. Everything became fast food. September 16th, 2014. Their relationship was cold and temporary, but surprisingly sweet and calorie-free. All right. Yeah, that's supposed to be like a fast food drink. Very refreshing. September 18th. It was an untenable position, but for him, the ground was now. What? Oh, this is okay. This is why I shouldn't do political cartoons. This is the worst. Worst thing. Oh, this is terrible. So this is a play on the boots on the ground. So if this is 2014, what are we talking about? Boots on the ground, maybe No, that's way too late for Afghanistan. Maybe it is. If it's some situation where the of course the news media is like boots on the ground, boots on the ground. So yeah, an untenable position. So boots not possibly be. It's politically impossible for the boots to be on the ground, and it's only one boot. That's the worst. Stay away from the politics. Lighter than air boot. Okay, September 23rd. In all the confusion, they had forgotten who filled the cup and were beginning to wonder if it actually mattered. So is it NyQuil or Dawn dishwashing liquid? All right. September 25th. He questioned both yogurt culture and its obsession with colon care. I guess yogurt is more of a stomach thing. Well, no, I guess it's all GI tract. Inspector Danger has taught him well. All right. September 30th. He had to admit that the quality of their health care was a bit lacking. Some pre-opened band-aids. All right. October. Yeah, we'll go to November. So August, September, October. October 2nd. He could now add toast to his list of achievements. I think this has come up before. Yeah. On the random deal. October 7th. Employment was a temporary state that only served to perpetuate the myth of employability. Fired. I like they wrote fired on the box. What? October 9th. There was a certain point at which additional ice cream only made the situation worse. That's a big bowl of melted ice cream. Not a problem. Give me a spoon. All right. October 14th. Bath towels refused to admit the role fabric softener played in their just out of the dryer feeling. All right. I've heard that it's not good to use fabric softeners on towels. Cuts down the absorbency. Could be. Never admit unless you have to. I'd rather spray than with her favorite fragrance. Oh boy. Laundry tips in the comments. October 16th. The car's cup holder was the final proof that he should never have left the movie theater. Nice. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Is the aesthetic of the cup is that kind of cheesy movie theater cup pattern design. He never should have left the movie theater. Well, they'll just drive carefully. All right. Yeah, because they'd never consider you wanting to take that home. Oh, here we go. Here's a experimental cartoon. August 21st. Midnight snacks often hid their gluttony by being poorly lit. All right. But they taste so good. Yes, so just a little bit of highlight on the... crazy, yeah. So sometimes I'll confuse you. Throw a curveball in there. All right. 23rd of October. Scented tissues filled the room with a very artificial floral smell, as well as many unused, as well as many used scented tissues. Right. And, we're already in Halloween. October 28th, there was something about this particular holiday that made him a little crazy. All right. And October 30th, more Halloween. He felt an assorted variety of apprehension about the amount of sugar involved in the holiday. Okay, we're criticizing the holiday. And last one, November 4th, being free with $20 of gasoline actually made him the more expensive beverage and therefore better. Such a deal. Nice, yes. Gas station coffee confronting Starbucks. All right, so let's save this. We'll come back to November 4th. One of these days, hopefully next week. All right. All right. Well, good. Some real big misses in there. All right, back to the drawing. So yeah, that was funny. Some odd stuff. Scented tissues, yeah, were the worst. Yeah, definitely. I'm yet to cover pumpkin. They look so cool, though. Oh yeah, that's right. So that's not a tradition in maybe because that style of pumpkin is maybe like a North American thing. So most places the pumpkins like that are smaller, harder gourds. Although I read originally it was potatoes. They would actually carve potatoes and put candles in them because it was a lot of the Halloween tradition that America observes was originally Irish. So of course the plentiful potato. All right. Oh, good. So I already have this one half written, so let's start here. So others called it a stain. He called it his happy Italian memory. That doesn't have to be in quotes, does it? I don't think it needs. Yeah. Oh, actually, wait. Let's make something. It's a happy thing, so let's make somebody smiling, or maybe just both of them. Let's try that. See if it helps the look. The can still wouldn't be around though. That's the logic problem. It's the can. The used can wouldn't be sticking around long enough for the Tupperware to be stained. His happy Italian memory. Something like that. Yeah, I don't think that needs quotes. All right. That's a little... Okay, others called it a stain, but he called it his happy Italian memory. Sure. Someday, in 10 years, I'm going to be reading that on the stream. Okay. Oops. Let's do everything. Let's just write Latin placeholder text for everything. Okay, so the noise, the noise that change would create in the laundry. The rhythmic something. Yeah, I was surprised by potatoes. There must be a different aesthetic for carving potatoes. because it is very tiny. But they would yeah, I don't know, hollowing a potato out would be pretty tricky. Yeah, because the American pumpkins are pretty big, and the walls of they're pretty fibrous. So yeah, you got to do a lot of scraping. Potato, you seem like you could just cut through it very easily because it's just that starchy tuber kind of material. All right, so so they were happy to be out of the dryer, and that yeah, I gotta, what would you call that sound? Because it's not quite that loud, but it's a rhythmic. Um, hmm. Let's not go so fast or so long. Something about no one took responsibility for the rhythmic. For the rhythmic noise during their time. No, no, no. A dryer. This is too long and silly. No one took responsibility for the rhythmic noise during that time. Nah, annoying. We're going to do a money laundering joke. Yeah, people are so afraid of each other now. Yeah, because when I was in Los Angeles, they would do these weird things. It was really nice. Our neighborhood, it was the only time you got to really meet your neighbors, like the neighbors that were a few houses down. If people were like hanging out around, you get to kind of finally meet them, because you would only ever have a chance to meet somebody at night because it was so hot during the day. People just didn't go out or didn't sit out on their front porch or anything. But Halloween was the best time because you bring your kids and you get to meet all the neighbors. But yeah, people are so afraid of each other. And then they started doing this weird thing where they're like, oh, wear your costume to the shopping mall, and the stores will give you a little, you can trick or treat at the stores in the mall. So depressing. Or even worse than that is some community, I don't know, groups or whatever would arrange trick or treating in a parking lot. So you pull up your car, and then kids go around to the cars and ask for candy. It was so depressing, but people are just so paranoid, because there are shady houses or houses you don't want to knock on. But it's good to know who those are, and as a neighborhood, as a group, kind of know who to look out for. But yeah, people are just so afraid of each other anymore. It's very weird. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think you're right, Unknown Girl. That's the most obvious, kind of easiest to understand joke. Oh, okay. So rhythmic, how do you spell anything? The rhythmic noise must have been part. Oh, the rhythmic metallic noise must have been part of the money laundering process. Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest, least ridiculous joke. So let's find out how poorly I spelled rhythmic. Oh, it's calling that correct. Wow. Rhythmic. Let's try again. Rhythmic. Wow, I did spell it right. That's crazy. All right. The rhythmic metallic noise must have been part of the money laundering process. Should I say banging? But it's with coins. It's not quite. It's just kind of a, click, 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 click. It's kind of a tink or a plink or a. It's a smaller sound. Plinking. Something like that sounds. Is that more? Oh, the definition of plinking is target shooting, recreational target shooting. Let's see if they, yeah. The official definition is oh no, that's, yeah, a short, sharp, metallic sound or ringing. Yeah, plinking. Yeah, there we go. The rhythmic metallic plinking must have been part of the, yeah. I think plinking, it's more evocative. If I say banging or noise or whatever, it's not really, it's just a small sound. Nice. That makes more sense. Clinking. Clinking. Oh yeah, that's good too. Yeah, clinking. Let me check if that has the same kind of definition. Making a sharp ringing sound. Huh? Ringing. Oh, like chains. Yeah, more of so a little bit more ringing and metallic clinking. Yeah, the clinking clank of chains. That's right. Yeah. So I don't know if this who's it's Oxford. Yeah, it's the Oxford dictionary. Yeah, they're saying clinking is more sharp and ringing like chains. Interesting. Sure, yeah, they don't know what they've been involved in. It's like Ozark. They're laundering money for the cartel and they didn't even know it. Okay, the rhythmic metallic. Oh yeah, I should. If there was like a T-shirt or something from Ozark, that would be a funny pop culture reference. I don't think Marty ever wore any like same thing. Did he? Did he have like a university? Marty Bird. Let's just see if. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Ozark had the the quadrants. It would have the O for Ozark, and it'd have the quadrants, and those were all teases of events that were coming up on the show. Oh, the Missouri Belle. Oh yeah, Marty Bird, 2024. Oh, that's just a stupid. Oh no, that's right. They didn't run for office, did they? They just got involved in political stuff. Yep. Nope. Nothing recognizable. Ozark, Missouri. Oh yeah, the Missouri Belle. Their their gambling riverboat casino. Okay, enough of that. So that was, yeah. I like that show a lot, but Unknown Girl. I'm gonna warn you now. The series finale is a huge disappointment. I have no idea what they were going for, but it's a real weird tone that it ends on, and I think it's kind of trying to go back to some of the ideas or things of the first season, but I really hated how it ended. It was a real disappointment at the end. There were so many good characters and really tense moments and stuff, but I think once was it the final season? At the final season, like the cartel kept bringing Marty back and forth to Mexico, and I was like, okay, are we? Is this really cheap to film or something? Is this somebody's house, one of the producers' houses that they're filming in? Why do we keep doing this? Yeah, there were some things that I really hated, and there's some good surprises and shock deaths and stuff in that series. But the final episode didn't go well at all. I think it was probably one of the worst series finales. So yeah, sorry. Spoiler. But if you know from the very first episode that they get stuck money laundering for the cartel, so you'll know they eventually get dragged to Mexico. But I really didn't like the ending of that show. I thought that was really bad. It just had they were going for something weird that I don't think they earned or they built up to very well. Yeah, I don't know. It was one of those things. I guess there's the pressure of so many series that have come before you, like, Sopranos and Breaking Bad and stuff, that there's bad characters. Like the main character is bad and they're doing immoral and ethical things. And, it used to be like under the Hayes, was it the Hayes Code or whatever? Like there where bad people needed to be punished. Like you had to have those nice Christian values where bad people needed to be punished at the end. So if you're depicting crime, the perpetrator has to be punished by the end of the movie, end of the show, whatever, end of the episode. But now we're in those times of writing gray characters or writing sympathetic villains and stuff. And so there's a lot of weight on you for that kind of stuff. And I won't spoil anything, but they just went the wrong way. And I'm like, I think that was a weird choice and it didn't feel very satisfying. But yeah, I don't know. But it's definitely, they're trying to comment on the morality of what they did and how, once your hands are dirty in stuff like that, can you ever justify, or can that the money or the financial benefit or the power or whatever that comes from doing bad things, can you ever turn that toward good, or can you ever be a good person after that? And I don't think they did a good job answering that question. Okay, so others called it a stain, but he called it his happy Italian memory. And I think, did I already check this up? Not yet. Okay. The rhythmic metallic plinking must have been part of the money laundering process. Ha. That's one of those ones where you read it and then you have to go back to the cartoon and check what the heck I'm talking about. Maybe this one too, with the stain. All right. Yeah, the series finale, so the end of season 4 was like, yeah, because they were kind of, I think by season 4 they were kind of overextending themselves. They didn't quite know where to go because things had gotten so out of hand, and I don't think they knew where to go, and they kind of ruined the scariness of the cartel and stuff. Yeah, they did a lot of weird stuff that I was like, that's not good. It's not right. You didn't earn any of that, and it was kind of a weird way to kind of the final feeling of the final message of the show was really bad. There's been like, so people, I never watched it, but people complained about Dexter being really bad, having like a weird happy ending. Lost having a nonsense ending. What else? And Game of Thrones having a rushed, bizarre like wrap up of everything that didn't make any sense. That's really sad though, because like, you spend time with a show, and especially when it's released normally and it comes out weekly and there's a season, and then you wait a year or two and there's another season. So you spend so much time with the show and with characters, and when either the writers have left or they run out of ideas or don't know what to do, and then your final feeling of that show is just, ugh, you don't want to ever go through that whole process. I think Mad Men did a pretty good job of like ending on an interesting note for that character, although they didn't touch on some of the stuff that they set up at the beginning. I like Sopranos finale. I think that was good. Breaking Bad was very good. That finale. And I think that's why people have fonder memories of those shows, is because they ended in an interesting way. They kind of, lingered and kind of left you thinking. I'm trying to think of what else that I watched for a long time. Yeah, I'm rewatching. I never got through it, so I'm rewatching Boardwalk Empire now. A lot of the Sopranos guys were involved, and Martin Scorsese was a producer, and I think some of the celebrity was an executive producer. But it's 20s Atlantic City and kind of the political corruption, and then like the proto mafia, because it's already prohibition. It's early prohibition, so it's the mafia is coalescing, and so you get young Al Capone, Lucky Luciano. A lot of the like New York and Philly mafia and Chicago mafia those figures start to rise up. So that's a fun show. But I remember hearing that it didn't end well, and it's only got 4 seasons. So I finished the first season, and it's fun so far. But I never got through it. So rewatching that. Yeah, it's a real art too. The final, like the final thing you want to say, or the like the place you want to leave those characters. And so the guilty should be punished, or shouldn't they? Or, living under that, always looking over your shoulder, is that the hell that they deserve? Kind of. So there's interesting ideas and interesting things. And when you've spent so much time, like, you know, presenting these like moral dilemmas and showing how these characters have responded and how they've been changed over the course of a show, you gotta be really careful how the final kind of resonating note. It's really, really a tricky thing. Yeah, I don't know. And I think Sopranos suspected that they might be able to make a movie or something because the way that because they're really, it's almost like, because spoilers for Sopranos, this is kind of known. You probably know, if you never even watched that show, you probably know about the famous ending. It just cuts to black. And so the speculation is the cut to black the death of the main character, like he just gets shot in the back of the head and just everything cuts to black for him? Or is it just that the show ends? Like there is no final note. It just keeps going because, so much of the seasons of the show were the FBI getting closer to making arrests, with the crime family and like, constant harassment and things. And then infighting, like war between the families and stuff, kept, you know, coming up. So is that just going to go on forever? And are we just like looking away, and that's still going to exist? So yeah, it was kind of a unique ending in that way. So there's speculation. And of course, the internet, has all, they go through then they go through all of the previous episodes and say, wait, there was an episode where Bobby says, do you think it just goes to black when you die? And then, so, oh, that must be a reference to the ending. Yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff. But I think the showrunner, the creator of that show, had a good sense of, what he was doing. Yeah, and so then the funny thing is, because it was a cable show, because Sopranos is a show on cable, like, and it was already the age of digital cable when it was ending. People were like all called their cable companies and were all complaining because the show cuts to black, but just like boom, like it's playing a song and everything. It just cuts mid song, mid everything, cuts to black, and then there's like a 10-second or something pause, a pretty long pause of black screen before the final credits come up. So people thought that there's something exciting happened, that their cable went out, and then it came right back on. So there's all these angry calls and stuff to satellite and cable companies because they missed the finale. But once they found out that was the finale, people were like, "Oh shit, I don't like that." Yeah, so it was, a little controversial. All right, let's make some JPEGs. The rhythmic metallic plinking must have been part of the money laundering process. Hey. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, so that's still the writing. This is one of my favorite shows, and I think it's the main reason is because they treated every episode like a movie. Every episode had a narrative arc, and I think these horrible streaming shows now that we're being subjected to, they don't even care. They're just taking a small idea and stretching it for too many hours. Just trying to take 30 minutes of story and making it last 8 hours. So it's just torture watching a lot of that stuff. But I really loved that. So the story, because it's very hard to craft, because the cool thing, and this happened, some other shows have done this too, but an episode of The Sopranos it had a narrative arc like a movie. Plus, there were main story and kind of B stories or C stories. Like there were different plots going on. They were all affecting the characters, moving the whole story forward, the entire narrative of these characters. There was a narrative arc in the episode itself. Plus, everything that happened to all the characters, each episode kind of had a theme. So respect, or the importance of family over. Family over business or whatever. There was some theme that each of the plots tried to approach it in a different way. So really, really skillful crafting of these individual episodes, because on three levels they were doing three things. They were advancing all the characters' stories. They were having one kind of, satisfying build and resolution in the episode, and it was all thematic. Like everything was connected to the same theme. So yeah, very, very cool. That was always and that, I think that's what makes it very rewatchable, because a lot of people just watched it for the story and the killings and the all the Italian American references, but it it was a really well, like, it was dumb. That was the thing I think I liked the most about the show, is superficially it seemed very dumb because most of the characters were idiots and they were all greedy, you know, gangsters. They're all greedy mafia, like, low level mafia guys, and so on the surface, it was just an idiot Goomba story, but it was actually, written very smart, and the performances, the actors and the performances were really interesting. So that's what makes that show awesome. Oh, autocorrect. The shoes, shoes these days. Yeah, dude, that's exactly right. Shoes are like fast food. I'm constantly. They're greasy and salty, and yeah. Yeah, they really are. I think the aesthetic, the streaming aesthetic, really sucks, and they've got to figure that out, or just kill kill it, because I hate that. And you even see that with the documentaries. Like if they want to tell, so many of these, like, known crime stories, or big public court cases and things, are getting documentaries on different platforms, and they're pretty simple stories to tell, and they have a lot of the old newsreel footage, the courtroom video and everything, so they can tell an interesting story, but they'll take it and drag it out. They'll create a fake narrative, manipulating things, and then they'll drag it out to this ridiculous extent. So it almost becomes unwatchable. I'm trying to think of the girl that died, that they found in the water tank at that hotel, that kind of shady hotel in Los Angeles. They did a whole series that could have been a 1 hour documentary, but they did a whole series about her death, and they had no information because it was still kind of mysterious what happened, like mental illness or drugs, or why did she end up in that tank. And they drug that out, and they don't have any answers, so they drug it out for like 3 or 4 episodes, and then it's like, and we don't know, and that was it. Yeah, it was really, really a waste of time. So that kind of stuff, just to make content. Yeah, I guess it's that internet aesthetic of padding out, everything for content. You just got to get the hours in there because you want the views, and you want those, yeah, I don't know. It's bad aesthetics. All right. Okay, so wait a minute here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me get this. Let me do the off-camera FTP stuff. Yeah, series. Yeah, that's really, really crazy. Yeah, but they just chose that that death of that poor girl because it was mysterious, and that hotel was it had just gone from being like a weird transient hotel, because the Night Stalker stayed there. Like, I think the Night Stalker actually had some killings, some murders in that hotel, or like was there in between his home, because that's right, no, his it was all home invasion, so in there in between stuff. So it's an extra creepy. I forget the name of the hotel, but it's an extra creepy story because of that, and so that's why they took advantage of it. And there's really weird elevator footage of that girl kind of playing games with nobody. Like, nobody is there, and she's kind of peeking around the corner and like doing some strange strange behavior, and you can't see anybody that she's talking to or anything. They're off camera, or they don't exist. So that was the thing that made that so such a compelling story. Is there doesn't make any sense. What happened? All right, enough of that. Well, we have done the exciting off-screen FTP session, and I'll try to get actually on camera. And let's switch over to the convenience store. So an odd snack for today. All right. Here we go. The Family Mart chime. All right. So I think this is kind of inspired by Korea. So recently they've been really expensive. They're like $5 a piece, or $5 for like 2 or 3. These big fat like gummies, like the size of golf balls almost, a little bit smaller than a golf ball. These big gummies from Korea have been coming to Japan. And so a lot of the Japanese companies are doing weird weird gummy candies. And so I didn't go. There was the mermaid gem candy, which I didn't go for. I don't think I could try too many of these at one time, but I thought we would try black diamond. So Amos, which makes a lot of like weird kitty kind of cheap candy stuff, and I think they actually manufacture in China, so not great. But Amos is doing, and I love this weird this weird joke. So these are 4D gummies, right? Because they're 3D, they're shaped like three-dimensional objects. But the fourth D is for delicious. So it says right there, 3D plus delicious. There you go. It's 4D, right? Delicious is the fourth dimension, just in case you didn't know. So these are the black diamonds. And so these are cassis, or black currant flavor. So they're black. And I was curious, like, how strange of a flavor that is. And they're in a little resealable, nothing really exciting except the nutritional information on the back. They're in a resealable package, because I think they're kind of those soft, wet, those, gummies that'll kind of dry out or get hard, exposed to air. So you can just tear this off, and then they've got their own little resealable bag. And it's actually maybe a few too many. I think these were more than $2, so a little bit more expensive, but you get quite a few. There's probably like 20 or so in here. But there they are, the little slimy, look at those little wet black diamonds in there. Oh, yeah, look at that. They're little jewels. Yeah, so they do a, try to get my face out of there. They do a, so yeah, I guess the mermaid gems or whatever were probably the same sort of thing. Yeah, they're faceted little jewels, and they're very slimy. So they're kind of a wet gummy. So let's give this a shot. Oh, they're pretty hard. Even, kind of like the Haribo, this is probably the Japanese pronunciation, but those German or European Haribo. Where are those from? Switzerland? Germany? These are kind of hard like those are. Yeah, they just taste like black, yeah. Like blackberries. Black currant. Yeah, but it's kind of like a grape. It's one of those flavors that's like obviously padded out with some apple juice or something. But it tastes like fruit. Yeah, but there is actually fruit juice, but a lot of gummy coloring, and these are not great. They're a little bit expensive. So maybe that's the aesthetic, this texture and everything. Maybe they're imitating the Korean style gummies, because usually the Japanese ones are much softer. These are okay. The flavor is surprisingly like natural and nice. The color is just crazy though. Look at that. The deep blackness. Yeah. They're just okay. They're definitely a kid's thing, but they're not very sweet. So maybe kind of disappointing for kids that want a, because they just, taste like a black raspberry, or I guess like, black currant or cassis. I guess that's I don't know where that's from. It's maybe a Portuguese word or something. The flavor's good, but really subtle. They're not very sweet. Surprisingly hard to chew. And a little bit weird to texture. So the fourth D is for kind of delicious, right? I think delicious is a little bit of an exaggeration. Well, I'm glad I didn't have to try 2 of these. Very okay. More just for the gummy texture. And not quite as hard as like gummy bears or gummy worms. I'm kind of wet, which is weird. But I was just excited to try black gummies. So the shape is very interesting. They've actually captured a pretty intricate, faceted jewel. And you can see there's a little window. It's actually a window in the bag. They're all sliming around in there. The actual shape is pretty impressive, but as a snack, they're kind of boring. Not very, I mean, it feels pretty natural though. So that's a good thing. They're not, it's not very chemical. It's just like a fruit juice kind of flavor. So, Black Diamond. Yeah, I don't think the Amos company has done anything. These guys, they've done anything too amazing. Mostly kind of kid stuff. Yeah, there's some of the other Japanese snacks are much better. And remember those like premium gummies and stuff. There's some pretty, the ones that, especially the ones that try to kind of imitate or replicate a fruit texture. So they've got like a harder skin on the outside and a very soft inside. So it's just like eating a grape or just like eating a piece of fruit. So there's like a skin and a softer fleshy part inside. So those are pretty impressive. This is just kind of a novelty. So Black Diamonds. I'm going to try to get away from gummies, but there's so many gummy candies now in the convenience store because I think it's a kind of a Korean trend right now. There's a lot of like, Hango, the Korean lettering on snacks in Japanese convenience stores. So a very mid snack for this week. All right. Wow. That's too bad. Yeah. The flavor is like totally nice. Yeah. Yeah. The harder the gummies are. Yeah. The more brutal it is on your teeth. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I imagine the Ziploc seal on that bag is probably to save you from them getting impossible. I bet you wait long enough and they're just impossible to chew because once they get dried out, I'm sure they're pretty brutal. Okay, let's answer that question though. Where is that? Where is the #1 international gummies? They are German, yeah. For some reason, yeah, I thought they were German. Founded in 1920. Yeah, so the original gummy bears are the ones you see like most places. Worms and bears and stuff are Haribo. I don't know what's the German pronunciation. I just hear the. Oh yeah, that's right. Because they read like the. So the packaging is in German. That's of course why. What does it say? Guldbaren. Guldbaren. Yeah, they do a lot of very European snacks. That's funny. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the English I call them gold bears. So bear is Baden in. That's interesting. In German, or Bären. I don't have a German accent. I can't recreate of any kind. All right. Well, I think we did it. I need to be checking my phone a little bit better. Yeah, that super dated bear on the package, though. All right, let's bring him in here. The bear we've... where'd he go? Oh, no. There he is. Yeah, this is a funny mascot. He was definitely drawn a long time ago. And now he's still on the front of the gummy bear packaging. Yeah, I wonder. So it was founded in the 20s. I wonder when they came up with this this mascot, because it looks like the 50s or 60s. Could have even been the 40s. Yeah, it's funny. Oh, so 1960 was their first gummy. Yeah, so that's a 60s character design. 1960s, they made their little bears. So that must be where the guy comes from. Gummy bears. Nice. All right, that is definitely a product of the 60s. It looks like I colored it too. It's very mediocre coloring. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, when I was a kid, yeah, gummy worms and gummy bears. And then the American companies started to do like Sour Patch Kids, like sour worms and sour kids, which I think were essentially just gummy bears with, that sour powder on them. Let's see. So who makes Sour Patch Kids? Yeah, citric acid, tartaric acid, sour sugar. Yeah, is the citric and tartaric acid. 1970s, originally introduced as Mars Men. Wow, and then 85. Yeah, that would be my my era. Yeah, and then reintroduced 38 years later in 85 as Sour Patch Kids. I think based on Cabbage Patch. Cabbage Patch Kids were popular, and then those what were the sticker? Were the kids the parody of Cabbage Patch Kids stickers? The God damn, I know this. Um, Parody stickers were what were they? Oh, they actually made Garbage Pail Kids. That's right, Garbage Pail Kids. Yeah, so everything was kids. There were a lot of weird kids out in the 80s, weren't there? Mars Men. That's funny. Yeah, so at a different company they made them called the Mars Men. Yeah, the Sour Patch Kids, they just look like they ship like little bottles or something. You can't really tell what shape they're supposed to be. Yeah, that's funny. Huh. Yeah, and then worms and all kinds of sour stuff. It was either sour or hot. I remember they tried to do like hot cinnamon candy, like fireballs and atomic warheads and all those like candy that were like super hot, hot cinnamon flavors. Yeah, like red hot cinnamon flavors. I remember that was another 80s candy thing. And now it's like totally out of control. I remember my daughter in the US, she would buy one of her favorite things to buy was spray candy. And spray candy was basically just sugar syrup, like a colored sugar syrup. And it was in a little tiny spray bottle, like a pump spray bottle. So like a little bottle this tall, a little pump spray. And you just like opened your mouth and sprayed syrup, like sweet syrup into your mouth. So that was candy, and just like like you'd spray it, and I never tried it, but that was one of her favorite candies. Spray candy, delicious. But yeah, a lot of novelty. The novelty candy stuff got wacky. Oh, nice. Yeah, making gummy bear grow. I think you can microwave them too. I think they do crazy things in microwaves. Yes, mermaid gummy bears. Yes, this is spray candy. Isn't that a terrible idea? It's like, let's take all of the pleasure out of candy and just do the bare minimum. It's so funny. Oh, wow. They have a bunch of different kinds now. This is the kind. No, that's not it. Wait, this one? Oh, yeah, something like this. Here we go. Well, since I still got this file open. Yeah, like this. Little pumps. Super sour spray candy. Yeah, now they're looking even worse. Ew. Yeah, they're looking terrifying. Look at this. This looks like bear mace or something. Yeah, they're getting even more horrible looking. Look at that. It's delicious bear mace. Yeah, so spray candy is getting even weirder than it was before. Yeah, it was just these little spray bottles. So she would just like be sitting in the back seat of the car, just like just like turning her tongue like blue or green from this weird spray. I'm sure it was not healthy in any way. Probably took years off her life. Wow. So this aesthetic is getting strange. That does look like that bear mace that they use in riots. It's like riot suppression. Maybe he's like they're supposed to spray your whole face now, like in your eyes and everything. It's not just your tongue that you discolored; your entire face you spray until it's blue or green. That's funny. It's funny. Yeah, sour spray, quick blast candy sounds delicious. I would love a quick blast of sweet candy. Yeah, and I'm sure it's gotten even weirder. That's the nice thing. Japan has some funny stuff, but they don't go super novelty like a lot of the American candy stuff does. They've got like yeah, there's not as much chewing gum here. That's a maybe because of the it's so bad for your teeth as a little kid. Yeah, there's not a lot of bubble gum and chewing gum here. Yeah, it's funny. So stupid. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder. I got to ask somebody with kids in the U.S. what they're dealing with now. Although parents now are so paranoid, they deny their kids all of that weird stuff. That was the one thing, and hopefully they had a positive influence. But that was the one thing. It's like I always liked my daughter, being a kid as much as possible. Being able to enjoy stupid stuff and being a kid. Like she played like Habbo Hotel and all kinds of stupid online games and stuff. And for her age, that was just part of being a kid. So why would you deny, like, so many parents are so restrictive and like, oh, you can never watch TV or, never watch this particular show or music or whatever. They would always have these weird restrictions. And then you don't have this common reference of your peer group if you don't like enjoy trash media and trash food and stuff. So yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, being weird and denying so much because that shared experience of like when we were kids, this was the stupid, snack, and this was the stupid show, and this was the stupid app, and now it's an app. Now you can probably kids will all date themselves by saying, "Oh yeah, you used Instagram. Oh yeah, that was dead." by the time, by the time I was obsessed with screens, that wasn't even a thing. Yeah, it's very funny. Uh, but yeah, you never know. Oh yeah, so that black ink AI thing. So I don't think that's what he was talking about. I'm sorry, I've totally blanked on your name. Um, so yeah, previously Derek, yeah, Derek Dumas was talking about black ink, but I found some. It's blackink.ai, and it's just a tattoo art generator. So maybe if you want like original tattoo art, something to take to your artist as inspiration. Yeah, that's odd. I would never have. Um, I never would have thought. Oh yeah, there. Yeah, yeah. Unique tattoos in seconds. Oh yeah. So Black Ink is a new non-realistic GPU based paint application. Oh, that's cool. Oh wow, interesting. Yeah, I should play around with that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've got to up my game. What's happening? Oh, nice. Unknown girl, thank you so much. Oh, wow. There was suddenly a mermaid, and what's happening? Thank you. I appreciate the donation. did I? Did I put some? Yeah, Derek. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Thank you so much. Unknown girl. Wait. I'm going to go back to Stream. If that was from Streamlabs, I want to see that again. Did I put some random thing in? Oh, can we get a mermaid one next week? I'll get the mermaid. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, that would be great. Yeah. Oh, so that. Oh, that's what the. Oh, there we go. Mermaid. Excellent. Thank you so much, unknown girl. That's much appreciated. Nice. Great candies. Nice. You're very sweet. Yes, thank you, Unknown Girl. Yeah, Cecil Hotel was that the I'm sorry to be going back. But yeah. You guys have all been keeping up in the chat and I'm like missing everything. Yeah, that was really sad that Elisa Lam they made like they drew out that story and they still don't know like exactly what happened. So it's very sad. Very sad. Nice. Mermaid gummy bears. Very cool. Yes, we'll do that. We'll definitely do that next week. Nice. Dog with a mermaid. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so now you send mermaid pictures. Very cool. Oh, Unknown Girl, God, I'm so sorry. I'm really not running my stream very well. Homer, thank you. You did when I was talking Simpsons. I totally missed this too. So I don't have, yeah, I got to wear my headphones because I shut off the audio so that it doesn't double, so it doesn't echo. Thank you. I totally missed that. You are very sweet. Yes, next week we'll do a mermaid. I appreciate it. Yes. That's really cool. The the GIF donation. I'm so sorry I missed both of those. You are very sweet. Thank you so much for supporting the cast. Gotta play Homer again. Yeah, we went through that whole Simpsons pink shirt story. Nice. Oh, yeah, thank you. Unknown Girl. You're very, very sweet. And yeah, Derek, I will definitely check out that black ink drawing program. That looks amazing. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, no new non-realistic GPU-based paint application. Yeah, I was just looking. There was an art channel that started doing timed figure drawing lessons. So that would be really fun to go back to because that's what I did so much in art school. I had like an intensive summer program where we just did 8 hours of figure drawing every week or every day for like a month, and that was amazing. It's amazing how much you progress when you like really put time into a specific skill. But yeah, so they had a model. They have an artist model with some like props and things doing like minute poses, 5-minute poses, 20-minute poses in just a YouTube video. And that's really cool. I'd like to spend some time doing that again. Maybe first I'll try it. First I'll see how rusty I am. And then if I want to get back into that regularly, maybe I can make that another live stream where I put the, cause I can just, do it silently. So just put the video in the corner or something and then do sketches based on the model drawing. That might be fun too, because we can do that collaboratively too. Like anybody that wants to sit and draw, we can just like kind of what is it? Just watch that video as a group and do some figure drawing and then show off our results. But those quick like 1-minute sketches and stuff are really good for understanding structure and getting that. Really nailed down. And just because what you're basically doing, the more you do that is you're shortening the kind of communication between your head and your hand, and getting something to look exactly how you're seeing it in your head, having your hand follow exactly what what your brain is coming up with. So yeah, very interesting stuff. So cool. Well, thank you, Unknown Girl. I'm sorry that I don't have any audio currently in my room, so I missed your donations. You are so sweet. Very, very sweet. Yes, relearning relearning on stream. Oh, it'll be too painful though. It's been a long time. And I wonder because I'd want to go back to like physical media like charcoal and newsprint, but I might just try to do it on the tablet I don't know if the results would be the same, but because I can do some like charcoal brushes and different textures and stuff on the tablet, even though my tablet's only like 22 inches, it's not huge. But I wonder, yeah, I'll play around with that idea. I'd like to do that, do some figure drawing, because it's not, the models are non-nude, so there wouldn't be any problem with YouTube or anything, or any of the live streams. And I can even like blur it or whatever. If we can't actually replay the session, I can do it off camera or censor it, so we're not stealing their content or whatever. If it would come up, if we get a copyright on it, yeah, I'll have to see. That would be a fun thing to do. I really want to get back to that. That was and that's the thing, like pre-internet and everything, where there was so much access to video and so much photos of models and things that you could draw from. Students used to just get together and pool all their money together to pay an artist and just have nights of figure drawing. So like once a week, they would just pay a model, and everyone, it's kind of expensive, so everyone would have to chip in like $10 or whatever, but then you could sit and draw, and you do like a couple hour session with an artist model. That was amazing. Really good stuff. So yeah, I'll think about that, because I really want to get back to doing more drawing. I'm really feel like I've wasted away. I've atrophied. Just too busy drawing piles of laundry and stained Tupperware. But yes, well, let's do that. So yeah, I'll call it for this week. And thanks again for everyone hanging in there. Derek and Dude and Unknown Girl, thank you so much. Very sweet, and I appreciate the support so much. So let's do this again next week. So if you're just watching this for the first time or kind of lurking at the end of the stream, abusecartoons.com is the website. And if you want to read the cartoon, there's 20 years of this cartoon on GoComics, gocomics.com/domestic abuse. And all of that stuff should be linked in the description at the bottom. And if you want to support what's going on, like some of the wonderful patrons, here, there is Patreon, patreon.com/abusecartoons. And that will do it for this week. So we'll be back again next week and draw 2 more cartoons and upload them and all that good stuff. So yeah, good night or good morning or good afternoon, wherever you happen to be. And thank you so much for watching. See you again next time. Goodbye.